G'day everyone, welcome back to another install. This time we're working on a 2016 to 2018 Chevy Silverado 1500, and we're going to be installing some new LED projector headlights. Now it does need to be pre-equipped with the factory HID headlights for this to work. It does take a moment to get them installed. Let's get into it. To switch out the OEM headlights, we'll need to remove the front grille. So we'll be starting in the engine area by removing this plastic guard cover. It is locked on by 12 plastic clips as shown. These plastic clips can be easily notched out with a tool. Remove all of the clips and the plastic guard should easily slide on out, which will give us access to 4 10mm bolts underneath that are holding the grille from the top. Grab a tool with a 10mm socket attachment for these bolts, and make quick work of them. Now we need to focus on these two specific spots as shown, where we'll find two locking tabs. We'll need to release these tabs by pulling up with a bit of pressure as shown. We can now carefully start to shimmy the grille out. Keep in mind the grille will still be difficult to remove, as it is still locked in from the back by 10 retaining clips. You'll need to lift the grille up and out to loosen the latching points and remove it. Now we have the access we need to remove the OEM headlights. Starting with these two bolts on the top. Grab a power tool and remove these two small bolts. There's another bolt to remove on the bottom as shown. Then there's one more bolt to remove behind the front bumper, and we'll be removing these two bolts on the felt liner to gain the access. Grab a tool with the right attachment to remove the two bolts on this side. Pull the fender liner apart in this direction to create a small gap for your hand to reach in. Reach your hand in with a ratchet tool to remove the small inside bolt. Now we're done removing the bolts on this side, we can simply repeat the process on the other side. The next step involves this locating tab that we'll need to lift up and out to provide the clearance necessary to pull the OEM light out. Place one hand under the headlight and delicately pull it out as shown. Now we can simply flick up the red tab and unplug the wiring harness to remove this light as shown. This side is now sorted and we simply need to repeat the process on the other side. We're almost ready for our new headlights. First we need to remove the chrome trim piece from the OEM headlights. We do this because we need to remove this black trim piece to reattach to the new headlights. There are 4 locking tabs to release on the back of each OEM light as shown. Go ahead and use a screwdriver to push out on each tab to release it. Then grab a picking tool to slowly and delicately pry out the trim piece. Be sure to take your time here to gradually release the entire trim. After each tab has been released, the entire chrome trim piece should pop out with a little force. With the chrome trim piece removed, we now have all the access we need to detach the black bottom trim. There are 4 tabs holding it in, simply push down and out on each to release them. With the tabs sorted, the trim piece will pop out and it's now ready for our new, upgraded Renegade headlights. Now we simply need to push the black trim piece into the bottom of our new headlight, and it'll be ready to install onto the truck. Simply repeat with the other light, and it's a good time to remove the protective film covering them both. Let's head back to the truck to install these bad boys. First thing we're going to do is reconnect the wire harness in the back. Plug it in and flick in the red tab to lock it in. Then carefully align it to the top bolts, and we can go about locking it in by resecuring these 3 10mm bolts as shown. We also have the last bolt behind the front bumper to resecure as well. Make sure your OEM bolts are in reach and get to work on them. A power tool comes in handy and we'll make quick work of it. Then grab a ratchet tool with a 10mm socket attachment. Attach the bolt to it, reach in behind the bumper, and lock it in. This new headlight is now ready, and we just have to repeat the process on the other side. Once you've finished locking them all in on this side, we can move on to reattaching the front grille. On the back of the grille, there are 10 retaining clips to tension back in to secure it. A buddy comes in handy here to help reattach the grille and tension in all of the retaining clips on the back. Take your time here to align it correctly. Once the grille is all sorted, we can move on with screwing in and tightening the 4 bolts on top to finish with the grille. Once the grille is all sorted, we can move on with screwing in and tightening the 4 bolts on top. Now simply slide the plastic guard piece back on and re-secure the 12 plastic clips. We can drop the hood because we are done. Congratulations, your Chevy Silverado is now sporting an upgraded set of Renegade headlights. Featuring sequential turn signals, brake lights, and high-low beam projector lights. All culminating in an upgraded, stylish, and sleek design to always light your way.